New Cumberland, West Virginia. There is a New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. Don't discredit me. I did do exceptional in geology. Not so much tonight. 15 laps the distance for the fuelrequired.com hobby stocks. It'll be Leroy Brown and Jonathan Gatellis leading the field to the green in the pack and ship start zone over in turn number 4. Pack and ship right across the road, Route 2230. Tonight they're here at Pittsburgh. Green is out. There you have it. Put the top 4 under a blanket and shake them all about. It's bad. Leroy Brown off to the lead early. He's got Steven Shelpman to the inside. That is Jonathan Gatellis to the outside in car number 2K. Here comes Shelpman to the inside. 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Your lap 1 leader going to be Leroy Brown. Battle for second, still your closest one. Here comes Jonathan looking right back to the inside of Steven Shelpman. Shelpman piloting that backup car for Garrett O'Patchin. Car number 25R. We've seen Garrett behind the wheel of that car about once or twice this year. Line, a veteran knows when to play his cards. Here on lap number 9, Shelpman going to try to make a move here quickly. Surely Leroy Brown can hear him behind him as the front bumper is all over the rear bumper of Brown. Might be playing a little bit of cat and mouse here as it looks like a nice dive to the bottom for Shelpman. He's got the lead. A slide job coming through turn number 3. And boy, did he ever plan it. Coming out of turn number 4, we've got a new leader on lap number 10. It's Steven Shelpman. Gatellis to the outside of turns 1 and 2. We see that racetrack working itself up way wide on that half of the racetrack. Down the backstretch, huge run for Logan Gatellis. Going to look to do the same thing to Leroy Brown in turn number 3. Dip right to the bottom. Side by side on turn number 4. Exit as the white flag flies for Steven Shelpman. And what a move for Lightning Logan Gatellis on Leroy Brown. Gatellis is second. Brown now drops to third. 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. A winner again, this time in a different division. Car number 25R, Steven Shelpman, a winner at Pittsburgh. Second goes to the 64 of Gatellis. Third to the 40B of Leroy Brown. Fourth position will go to Garrett O'Patchin. That battle for your top 5 going to end with Joe Brown Jr. in car number 48, finishing 5th.
Here we go. 6 laps the distance. The winner will interview in victory lane. They'll collect extra cash. And Jeremy Wonderly punts Davis into turn number 1, giving him a push as Bergoon's on the top side of the track, trying to drag Grace down the backstretch to close in on Davis. Wonderling knew he needed to push Davis out there to try to hold on to that number 2 spot if he wants to. These are the top 6 fastest cars on the track here tonight. Here comes Davis across the line, followed by Bergoon, Wonderling, and Michael Reff. Into corner number 1, Bergoon to the top side of the track as they completed 1 out of 6 laps. Corner, Davis holds on to the number 1 spot. He's got the cross flags from Jeff Porro as they work into turn number 1 now. Bergoon looking at the top side of the track. Wonderling dove in really hard into that turn. As they work off of turn number 2, we got a nice battle between Norris. Move into turns 1 and 2. He cannot hold on to it as they work off the corner. Wonderling moving down the back stretch. Checkered flag will be out this time by as they work their way through the turn. Checkered is out, and Bryce Davis will win the John Batty Memorial Dash in car number 94. Kyle Zimmerman in the 31. Then we got Matt Bennett in car number 15. And David Kaiser in the 11K. And David Goebel in the 20G. He scratched from this event. So we go green. Marino Angelicchio out front in car number 55. 2 cars qualify as they work off the turn as the 87 of Messler holds on to the number 2 spot. Messler slides up wide. Gatellis knows he's got better momentum. Goes high into turn number 3. Trying to rocket around the outside of Messler to grab second coming off of 4. Messler watches the 5X drift by on the outside. Messler dives hard into turn number 1, trying to hold on to it. He'll slide up a little bit as Gatellis takes that spot. No, Messler holds on to it on the bottom side of the track. He tries to keep up his momentum with Gatellis on the top side. Remember, only 2 cars qualified. Great battle here for the number 2 spot. Messler takes that spot back as he wrestles it away from Gatellis with 4 laps down and 4 to go. He gets down to the low side of Gatellis. Gatellis on the outside takes that number 2 spot away. Gatellis car disappear into the distance. Checkered flag is out. Angelicchio picks up the win. Marino will win B-Name number 1, and Cody Gatellis will move on to the Jook George Memorial in car number 5X. band on it. Green flag is out. Much better start that time. Side by side into turn number 1. Schernhofer takes the early lead. Schneider goes down to the inside and Martin to the outside, making it 3 wide. Down the back stretch, Joe Martin takes the number 1 spot going into turn number 3. Here comes Schneider to the inside. Contact with Schernhofer. There's smoke pouring off of Schernhofer's car as they make a tire rub on the number 8S car. Going into turn number 1 now. Schneider down to the inside of Martin, trying to take the number 1 spot. Martin holds him off. Green flag is out. Martin trying to hold off Angelicchio and Behe. Angelicchio takes it to the inside, gets in front of Behe. Martin has got the preferred lane for Schneider, that is. Going through the turn, Martin holds off Schneider. Meanwhile, here comes Angelicchio. Angelicchio looking to the inside of Schneider going into turn number 3. Not going to make it. Martin is your leader over Schneider. Schneider's going to have his hands full with Dan Angelicchio. Working into turn number 1 now. Schneider drifts up wide a little bit, opens the hole, and Angelicchio gets underneath Schneider for the number 2 spot. Dan Angelicchio in car number 14A making the charge into the A main event as he gets up into the number 2 spot. Here we go. Checkered flag is out. Joe Martin, winner of the Bill Hendren Memorial last year. His car looks a lot better in that B main than it did in the heats and time trials. He wins B main number 2. Let's see if Racy can do it over McGill, and how about Mason Ziegler? Green flag is out. Racy leads him into turn number 1. Down the back stretch now, Mason Ziegler looks to the inside of Frank McGill. Working into turn number 3. McGill trying to hold off Ziegler. Ziegler right there in the 25. He takes that number 2 spot. Demetrius working into turn number 3. Racy dives into turn number 3 harder than Ziegler. And here comes Drellis to the inside. Wow! He bolted by McGill and gets side by side with Ziegler. Drellis way down on the low side. He's flying out there in car number 111D. He's hard into the wall is Jim Racy. As Drellis makes contact with Racy down the back stretch in a battle for the number 1 spot. Yellow flag is out. Green flag is out. Ziegler holds on to the number 1 spot going into the turn. Drellis on the outside lane in car number 111D. Zach Gunn on the move in the 17G goes up to 3rd. Side-by-side battle for the number 1 spot here between Ziegler and Drellis. Drellis on the outside. He was driving crazy out there trying to get up into that top 2. He leads him at the line. Down the back stretch. How about it, folks? This driver from up in eastern New York, Demetrius Drellis, picking up the win in B main number 3. The Hubis Auto and Truck Supply, Rush Late Models, and a Flynn's Tire, Gunter's Honey Touring Series event. Let them hear it out there, folks. Awesome sight. Battle for the lead down the back stretch. Jeremy Wunderling looking to the inside of Bryce Davis. The 2 New Yorkers out front so far. These guys starred back in the day of the BRP Can-Am Series. All right, Davis is the leader. The restart zone is between the cone and the pole. Davis has it, and he guns it. Green flag is back out. And one car dives way down to the low side. It's Mike Wunderling. Down the back stretch. Mike Wunderling takes advantage of a few sleeping drivers, moves up to the top 5. Meanwhile, we got a change up front. Bryce Davis has lost the lead. The race leader is now Kyle Lucon from the 4th spot to the front with car number 184. Lost a little bit of ground there in turn number 2, and Jeremy Wunderling closing in now on Kyle Lucon in turn number 3. Lucon gave up some speed. Something's wrong with that car, and Wunderling is all over the back end. 2 on this restart. Lucon on the gun right away. Here comes Wunderling to his outside. He cuts across the front of Wunderling. Davis is down to the inside of Wunderling. It shocks Wunderling a little bit. It goes to the outside is Michael Norris. Norris is up into the number 2 spot. Davis is still 3rd. Wunderling falls back to the number 4 spot, and I believe it's Ziegler. No, it's Drellis up to 5th. Here comes Lucon out of the corner. It's Lucon followed by Norris. Davis, Wunderling, and Drellis. Coming around. We've got 12 laps to go. 28 are complete. Green flag is out. Lucan, Davis right to his inside. Here comes Norris with Drellis right behind him. Drellis, though, goes to the middle. Drellis looking to the inside. He gets around Davis for third. Everyone making their way through turn number 2. Here comes Michael Norris, the Crusher Kid, to the top side of turn number 3, and Drellis goes up there with him. It's going to be Michael Norris at the line. Norris takes the lead over Lucan. As they enter to turn number 1, though, Lucan charges back to the inside. Demetrius Drellis watching those 2 stars from Pittsburgh out in front of him. Norris looking to grab his second in a row, and now Lucan right there. He's on the inside. He tries to get a nose underneath Norris. This time by 10 laps to go. The double palms are out from Jeff Porro. Your race leader remains Michael Norris, followed by Kyle Lucan. Demetrius Drellis trying to hold off Jeremy Wonderling for third. Bryce Davis back in 5th. Brock Pinkerus looks like he's up into the number 6 spot with car number 555. Norris holds off Lucan. Here comes now to the inside of Drellis is Jeremy Wonderling. Wonderling trying to show Demetrius the right way to go around this track. Wonderling down to the inside. Takes that 3rd spot away from Drellis. Down the back stretch. Coming through the corner. Here he is. Off the turn. And your race winner is Michael Norris. 2nd goes to Kyle Lucan. 3rd, Jeremy Wonderling. 4th, Bryce Davis. And 5th goes to Brock Pinkerus as Drellis falls to 6th in the end. Green flag. They did go together a little early, but we got the green. All right, Messler on the inside. Let's see. And Schneider to the outside in the 75. A couple of cars making contact in the back of the pack. Frank McGill's going to give up the ghost right out of the gate. Here we go down the front stretch. Brad Messler trying to hold off Zach Gunn. Gunn to the outside. Behe to the inside. Woo! Oh, Behe almost making contact there with Messler. Meanwhile, Schneider out front with car number 75. Working into turn number 3, and Christian Schneider will pick up the win in the DNV Jewelers non-qualifiers race. $400 for 10 laps. Not bad deal at all.
So, lights are on. We're going to go green this time around. It'll be Sadie Snatchko getting this race underway. 8 laps of distance in this Young Guns feature event. Green is out. Sadie Snatchko straight to the bottom. She'll hold that bottom. Down the backstretch they'll go. The 91 of Gavin Kokolas to the outside of Anthony Uddstrom, peeking to the inside. You've got a 3-car battle for the lead early in this 8-lap A-main feature event. Coming out of turn number 4, Sadie Snatchko set to lead lap number 1, and Hunter Vaughn has problems. He lost his wheel this time. The 124 of Hunter Vaughn loses his right rear wheel. The caution flag flies. He's got his bumper dragging. Green is out. We're underway. Sadie Snatchko right back to the bottom. She'll drift up a little bit this time. Shut the door on Gavin Kokolas. And here comes Anthony Uddstrom peeking to the inside of Kokolas. Down the backstretch they'll go. Look at the straightaway speed for Anthony Uddstrom. Spot away from the dark horse, Gavin Kokolas. Not done yet. He's going to take the lead from Sadie Snatchko down the front stretch. You got a new leader. Great racing there. You see it live on the cushion there. The 91 of Gavin Kokolas and the 56 of Sadie Snatchko doing battle for the runner-up spot. But up front, Anthony Uddstrom absolutely pulling away from the field at this point. Through 3 and 4 for the final time this time. All alone and unopposed. Checkered flag is out for Anthony Uddstrom, your winner